things better. By Chicken and Pickle, home of the UTSA coaches shows. By Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. By Credit Human, become a member today. Visit credithuman.com. By North Park Subaru, proud member of the Kalig Auto Group. By Cowboys Air Conditioning, the official HVAC partner of UTSA Athletics. And by Frost Bank, we're from here. Now, live from Chicken and Pickle, here's the voice of the Roadrunners, Andy Everett.
And welcome to the UTSA Basketball Radio Show as we get it underway for this Wednesday night. The men finished up a game on Sunday. They are off until this coming Sunday. The women with two big wins against Rice and Tulane on the road. And we start the show tonight with Karen Aston, the women's basketball coach at UTSA. Congrats on those two wins. And I heard you say after both games, you're figuring out and finding ways to get wins.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what we've done all year long. Lots and lots of games that have gone down to the wire, and some are pretty, some are not, but I think at this point you're just trying to find a way to win.
And that's the mark of a team, that when you're not playing your best, you can still find a way to get in the winner's circle. Not every team can do that.
Yeah, for sure. I think we've got a sense of toughness about us, but I also think that the last few games we've gotten a lot of people's best punch, for sure, and then I think we've gotten down to the stretch where everybody's playing for something, whether it's jockeying for position and seeding, but people are playing really well against us. It's not like we're just walking around not doing anything. I mean, Tulane played great last night.
In the Rice game the other day, you got out to a nice lead, and then they kind of chipped away as the game went along, and you had to survive a missed shot at the end of the game.
For sure, and I really expected that from them. It was senior day. They had 5 seniors, so I knew that was going to be a really, really tough game, and we did come out really, really well, but got in some foul trouble. I thought that was really how they sort of got back in the game, and different combinations we had in the game, and then they had a couple of players get hot on us, and same thing happened to us last night against Tulane. I mean, we just, people get hot this time of the year and play with a little bit of desperation, and I thought both of those teams did that.
You got down, I think, 8 or 9 in the first half last night and fought back. Talk about the resilience of your team to overcome that adversity, because that's something that doesn't always happen. At this stage of the season, everybody's tired, everybody's looking for the end, but to have this team fight back like they did was pretty special.
Yeah, it really was. You can hear the conversations that go on at half. I thought we were a little bit uncharacteristic the first half as far as the way that we played. Our personality wasn't what it usually is, and I think they were able to correct that at half and regroup. We came out of halftime, played really well, and then it just really became a dogfight after that.
When you are the top team in the league and your only 2 non-conference losses were to Power 5 teams, all of a sudden people know you're coming into the building. You're the hunted now. That's another responsibility this team's had to take on.
For sure, and it's all uncharted territory. I mean, every day we wake up with something sort of new that we haven't experienced before, and I think you just have to live that and not get too critical of how they're living it, and enjoy the journey of it.
Talk about the comment I think you made the other day that your players want to win so badly that sometimes they over-try. And I see this a lot of times in other games where you get down 4 and you're trying to score 6 points in one possession,
yeah.
Right? So it seems like, and you try to rush things, and all of a sudden now you're down 8 and you have to regroup. But you're trying so hard to do something successfully, you just have to sometimes let that game come to you.
For sure, and I think it's kind of a combination of they're trying hard, but they're also I don't know how to explain it. They're emotional because they want to win really bad, and so I think sometimes they're learning how to keep their emotions in check with each other and individually. And, I mean, we have to kind of remember that when you get past Jordan and Nina and probably Sydney, we're a pretty young basketball team. And so the young ones are the ones that sometimes have a hard time, controlling how they're feeling, how they're reacting to things. And I think the leadership's been fantastic.
But are you starting to see those young players realize that they're pretty good too, that they have talent and that they can do this whether one of those 3 players is off the floor?
Yeah, I mean, we've been through that all year long. I think there's been so many games that, someone's been in foul trouble, or we've had some games where people have been missing from the game, and we've just, we've kept it going. I mean, we've had a lot of young players step up, and experienced players that we've just been able to manage throughout the year.
I saw one play near the end of the game last night that I thought was huge, and you talk about the emotion. Deflected ball, Adara gets the rebound, gets the putback and the foul, completes the three-point play, and she was incredibly excited about that play, and I think it gave you a 4 or 5 point lead at the time with a couple minutes to play.
Yeah, I thought there were two or three really huge plays that were really just extra effort plays. We call them winning plays. They don't sometimes even show up. I mean, obviously that one did, but I thought there were 2 or 3. I mean, Jordan had a tip in. Just stay in the play, and make something happen. And then I thought Maya picked up a loose ball that was kind of an errant pass that was loose, and Maya just stayed in the play, picked it up, and got fouled and hit the 2 free throws. It was a huge play.
You got to get your share of those 50-50 balls. The ball's on the floor. Either team can get it. You got to get yours.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt about it. And, as we go into tournament play, obviously, that's the way some of those games roll. I mean, it's nitty-gritty, and someone's, got to be willing to stick their nose in and make plays.
All right, one of our USAA Stars of the Week this week will be with Jordan Jenkins, and she'll be in the next segment. We'll talk with her coming up here next. If you're looking for a new or pre-owned car, look no further than Encira.com. Shop every make and model in one location and get a great low Encira price only at Encira.com. It's All teams score 88 points or more. Roadrunner fans can score $888. It's the $888 giveaway from Wayne Wright, the official injury attorney of UTSA Athletics. You can register to win your $888 at goutsa.com/promotions. And it's time for one of our USAA Stars of the Week. It's Jordan Jenkins, who is with us tonight. Pretty good ovation to start tonight.
Yep.
All right, you've seen it all at UTSA. You've been around for a long time. What are some of your memories as you finish your career here in the next few weeks?
I mean, it's been a good 3 years, and we've been constantly building. But I would say the best parts of the years was really the summer and then February, which is now. So
Yeah.
enjoying my teammates, for fun, and then when it gets tournament time.
I know you're a very humble person, and you probably won't brag about yourself a lot, but most consider you the best player in the league. How do you go about handling yourself, knowing that you're going to get everybody's best? You're going to get cheap shot fouls from time to time. You're going to get all the things because they're going to test you. Talk about your maturation as your game has improved and grown, and how you've handled all that.
Yeah, I just try to take it game by game, and I know, everything's going to be different, and I'm going to be guarded in different ways, but, it's mentality that I've been working on and just growing and embracing all contact and physicality, and also just trying to score around the physicality.
How much have you enjoyed watching yourself improve from 3 years ago to now?
Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, one of the main things is one of my first workouts here, really, really, really hard, by the way, the hardest workout I'd ever done. And I remember getting sick afterwards and being like, okay, this is going to be completely different, And I just remember how I was on the court earlier in my years, and just, I don't know, I know KA can kind of attest to this, but there was, a little bit more attitude or whatever, but I don't know, I feel like I've grown with, her getting on me and constantly trying to make me be better.
All right, Karen, talk about your memories of Jordan over these last 3 years and developing her into the player that she is.
Yeah, I forgot about the first practice.
That summer workout.
I think she was over at the trash can in the first practice, but
That was Kira.
well, yeah, you were right behind her.
Yeah. I threw up in my mouth. Anyways.
Yeah, she's matured unbelievably. I mean, just more to me, for her own self. I mean, it's fun to watch a player that embraces who they are and how good they are and how talented, and then takes on leadership. She has learned to handle adversity in games, but that's been through the adversity that she's had really off the court too. I mean, the injury she handled beautifully and worked at it and got herself back. But I think it's just the leadership. I mean, she's really is kind of like the team mom now, and I don't think when she got here 3 years ago I would have said this is what I envisioned as far as leadership, and that's been the funnest part. I mean, she's a very talented player. There's no question about that. But the impact that she's had off the court has been just as big.
Jordan, talk about the young teammates that you have. We'll talk about Nina in a second, because that's been a big key for your team this year. But I see Adara and some of the younger players really starting to feel like, hey, I'm pretty good at this.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes from the confidence that you've given them, so that if you get in foul trouble or if you have to miss a game, they can still get it done. Talk about getting your teammates involved and growing with them.
Yeah, I think it comes with a lot of communication on the court, but I think it's our bonds off the court that really help us on the court, because, it gets a little chippy at times, but we know each other, and we know that we're going to get over it, or we know how to address certain people. So, there's times where AP has been stepping up and she's really positive, and Idara is always, really vocal, along with Nina and, Sydney, but it's just the practicing communication that works whenever we really need it.
Talk about adding Nina to the team this year and the leadership that she's provided that point guard spot for you.
Yeah, she's been amazing, and she was literally our missing puzzle piece, I've been more of a physical leader and, getting into that communicative, leading role. So Nina just has that easily, and she's vocal and she's loud, and, she's the one who will get on you and get on your butt and I'm not like the best at doing that, so I'm glad that she can do that. And we have that respect for her. She's amazing.
I thought one of the big plays last night near the end of the game, you got the steal and the uncontested path to the basket for the layup. Talk about that big play in the game to kind of pretty much ice the game against Tulane last night.
I mean, yeah, it was a close game, and they had played hard, but we came back in that fourth quarter, and I was just in the passing lane, and I felt like I could do it. So it was just making the right play at the right time.
Last year, you guys had a really disappointing loss in the tournament, in the semifinals. How much has that motivated this team to have the successes that you're having this year?
Man, we are extremely motivated. We've had that feeling 2 years in a row, and we don't want to feel that again. So we're really trying to prove to ourselves that we can do this. We're not really worried about anything else.
All right, you got a big emotional senior day. We're trying to break an attendance record.
Yeah.
You're going to play your last game in the Convo.
Yeah.
You got a big game against FAU that you got to win. Talk about all the stuff and preparing for that game, knowing that it is going to be an emotional day.
Yeah. I mean, obviously not trying to do too much and just doing what I always do on game days, but I'm having some family come down, and I know it's going to be a special day, and I'm preparing for all that, and I might get Nina a little gift for senior day as well.
All right, Karen, as her career winds down over the next few weeks and hopefully well into March and into April, hopefully, what are some of the things you're going to remember the most about what she's meant to this team? Because we've seen women's basketball grow at UTSA like it's never done before, and she's been a huge part of that.
Yeah, she's the cornerstone of what we're doing. There's no question about that. I think we were extremely blessed to. I don't know how God dropped her in our lap, but it happened, and we were very blessed to have someone that could show the way, really, to all the other players. I think it took somebody that could show everyone else, like, this is how you work, this is what you do. But I think even bigger than that, like I think that when I got here, one of the things that I sold, not necessarily to her, but some of the players that came here, was just the opportunity to do something that had never been done or haven't been done in a really long time. I remember looking up in the ceiling and thinking, there's one jersey up here,
yeah,
and who wants to put their jersey up there? And there's absolutely no question in my mind that this one has planted that seed, and there's no reason why that's not going to happen eventually in her lifetime. And just who would have thought? 3 years ago we were trying to help each other.
Sure.
Really, we really were. And but everything she's done on the court, really, it's special. There's no question about that. But she would have done it anywhere. The blessing that I have, honestly, the blessing I have is that just coaching her and knowing her as a person. She goes above and beyond from the care factor with this young lady is very high, and it means a lot to me as a coach.
Jordan, one last thing. A couple weeks ago, Becky Hammond was in the Convo to watch you play. What did that mean to you, knowing that you're on the radar to play in the WNBA down the road?
Seattle was there last night.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's exciting, and I try to be chill about it and just enjoy my last season here. But yeah, I'm excited for the future and whatever it holds for me.
All right, well, we're excited for you as well. Best of luck as the season winds down, and hope you're playing well into March and maybe even April.
Yes, thank you.
All right, that's Jordan Jenkins with us out here on the show this evening. And we'll come back with one more segment with Karen. USAA honors the stars who serve in our military is the official military appreciation sponsor of USAA. And we're getting to know them better during the Stars of the Week segment, brought to you by UTSA basketball radio show. The UTSA women take on Florida Atlantic on Saturday at noon. And Karen, we're trying to set an attendance record and get 2,000 plus in the convo on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, huge props to April and Sarah for getting this kind of kick-started, along with Sean and our marketing and creative group. I mean, everybody's done such a good job pushing this. It was kind of an idea that they had, just send the two seniors off with 2,000, just kind of put all that together, and I think it's been fun. It's caught fire, and I would think that we're going to have a really good crowd on Saturday.
We're going to celebrate the careers of Jordan and Nina, who's only been here for a year. Your thoughts? We talked about Jordan. Your thoughts on Nina's last game in the convo?
Yeah, I just wish we could have coached her longer. I mean, it's been such a joy to have her in our program, and I do agree with Jordan. It was a missing piece of a puzzle that just, was a gift for us, and she's been a joy to coach. She's been such an asset to our team on and off the court, the chemistry of our team. And then, I think it's hard for me to talk about Jordan. This is a tough one for me to see walk out the door, but I know it has to happen.
Yeah, I think you're right. Her number will be up there with Monica Gibbs is here pretty soon in the rafters of the Convocation Center.
No question.
Let's talk about Florida Atlantic. How good are the Owls?
They've struggled, but they just have this, their guard plays really good. Super aggressive guards that just really hunt shots. They're good in transition, so it's not one of those games that we can show up and not have a ton of energy. I don't think we're going to have that problem. I'll be shocked if we don't have too much on Saturday, but emotions will be running high. It's a tough game to play always, but we're looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great day for UTSA. And
the Convocation Center, we get 2,000. That's going to be an awesome day. But you've really had some good home crowds there the last few weeks. They've really shown out. Absolutely. We've had around 1,500 the last couple of games, and just really appreciate the community grabbing hold of our team. And I think hopefully this continues to build. This isn't just 1 year deal. I hope that it continues to build and women's basketball becomes a big deal around here. All right. It was announced late yesterday afternoon that Diana Taurasi is going to retire from the WNBA. She's had an amazing career. I think if you look over the last 20 years collectively, she's the best player in the league year in and year out. I know you know her a little bit, and what are your thoughts on the end of her career? Yeah, it's kind of like, what I just said about Jordan. I mean, at some point it has to end, and that, new people are ready to take over, and I think that you just can't say enough about her career. I mean, the longevity, the fact that she's still playing at 42, and playing well. It's not like she's just dressing out. She can still do it if she wanted to. Yeah, she's still hooping. Just an unbelievable player. Yeah, I think I love to watch people that are competitive and fighting, whether it's a game in April or a championship game in August or September. And she, to me, I probably saw 10 or 12 of her games when I was with the Stars broadcast. Just fun to watch her play and the tough shots that she hit and the competitiveness that she had. No question about it. She'll go down as one of the greatest for sure, if not the greatest of all time. All right. Thanks so much tonight, and have a great day on Saturday. Thank you. All right. That's Karen Aston with us out here on the show. Austin Claunch is going to join us via the phone. Austin Claunch is traveling today, and we're going to talk with him via the phone. Good afternoon and evening, Austin. How are things with you tonight?
Everything's good, Andy. Good. I'm glad I'm in there. Sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but looking forward to getting back next week. So
Awesome.
Hope everyone's doing well.
All right. We had another near miss at East Carolina, and the thing I keep thinking about is we got to win one of these someday. Do you ever feel like it's just been unlucky and kind of snake bitten from time to time?
I think it's easy to feel that way when you maybe lost a few in a row, but we've had some of our own fortune too. Some close games we've won earlier on in the conference season. Early on in the non-conference season, I think our first one against Merrimack, was a huge comeback win. So, certainly it's easy to feel snake bit at times, but listen, we've had our opportunities, and I firmly believe if we keep putting ourselves in this situation here over the next 3 games as we go into the tournament, we're going to be battle-tested and ready to win.
In the East Carolina game on Sunday, you slowed down Walker. I think he only had 7 points, but then Felton got hot and had 5 threes in the first half. And I guess with that team, sometimes you got to pick your poison, and Felton had a really good game.
He did, and I thought we did a great job on Walker. And then I thought in the second half we did a good job on Felton. Slowed him down a little bit. He didn't get a 3 up. Still scored 8, but that allowed us to kind of take a lead. They made an adjustment and went even smaller, and we countered. And at the end of the day, it was just back and forth on the road, and obviously goes to overtime, and they just made a few more plays. Again, kind of story of the season right now, but we got a few more games to figure it out before we get to Fort Worth and try to win this thing.
Yeah, when you get to Fort Worth, no matter who you play, because there's been 7 straight games where it's come down to a couple possessions, I would think the team feels pretty confident. You can play with anybody in the league if you're playing well, and just a play or two here, and the record's different, so why not make it that way when we get to one of those teams again?
Yeah, and I think you even look at, some of our wins. North Texas is as good as anybody in this league, right up there at the top of the standings. Wichita, that was an early win for us. They're on a hot streak now. They're the hottest team in the league, right? And so, we feel confident. We've seen almost everybody now. We still got Charlotte to finish out the year. But certainly we're confident and, just ready to win, Andy. We're ready to find a way to get one of these done. So the work continues over the next couple of days.
We had a good performance from Primo the other day in the East Carolina game, but when I look at that stat sheet, to have 4 guys in double figures, to have 15 assists, Primo had half of those. That's sharing the basketball and getting everybody involved.
Second half, we did a great job, especially in the first 12 minutes. I think we had 9 assists in that span alone. And then the second half, and it can be hard against them because of their switching to sort of move bodies and move the ball and create closeouts. I thought we did a pretty good job overall. Offensively throughout the course of the game, just couldn't get enough consecutive stops in a row to sort of hold on.
You mentioned earlier in the year you're always working on the defense, and about 3 or 4 weeks ago you changed to where you're doing a lot more switching than you did earlier in the season, and it seems like the defense is playing better. Are you pleased with the progress, even though you still have a ways to go?
I'm pleased with how we're competing on that side of the ball. Just an attention to detail from a scouting standpoint as well, I think has improved and been better. We've had a few games, like if you take out, I think it's, the Tulane and FAU game maybe, and just, combine the rest of those points per possession, defensive games, we're somewhere in the middle of the pack, so we are guarding better, just here toward the end of the season. Certainly at home, we feel really comfortable guarding. But, as we head to Charlotte at the end of the season, obviously we're going to have to figure out how to take our defense on the road with us. 2 big home ones first that we need to handle.
I think you got to also have some confidence that other than the Tulsa game, and you fought back in that game, that your starts on the road have been better, starting back with the win at North Texas.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is the point of the year now where if you're not comfortable playing on the road, you're never going to be. So I think our guys embrace that challenge, and again, we've been right there. Our biggest one of the season was against a team that might win the league, and out there on the road, and we so at the end of the day, Andy, that's always at the back of our mind. So we always feel confident in these situations. now it's my job to help these guys figure out how to finish it more consistently.
All right, we're going to have one more segment with Austin before he goes back to his work this evening, and we'll also introduce you to UTSA basketball trainer Gianna Hook coming up in just a bit as well. We'll talk about Senior Day coming up this week and saying so long to some players who only had 1 year at UTSA, and we'll do that segment coming up. Taco Cabana online at tacocabana.com or on the MyTC loyalty app. You can sign up for great rewards and exclusive offers only at Taco Cabana. Austin Claunch is on the phone with us as he's on the road this evening, and Nick Bowman's also joined us out here at Chicken and Pickle. We'll talk to both of them in this segment. First of all, Austin, one of the things I've had a question about, and I think you guys really did well in the game the other night against East Carolina, you don't have a lot of size in the post compared to some of the other teams. David's got some size and a little bit, but the way that Joe Smith has been playing lately, defensively and blocking shots, is pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah, no question. I think obviously, oftentimes with some injuries that we've had, Joe is, and even Dave, I mean, those guys are often down there, especially Joe, giving up 40 or 50 pounds. And so to battle the way he's battled throughout the course of this conference season, says a lot about his toughness and willingness to, kind of accept, the role we need him to play defensively, and even the guards, Primo and Smurf are sometimes giving up 20 or 30 pounds depending on who they're guarding. So, yeah, certainly it's been sort of all hands on deck trying to figure out the best way for this group to guard, but they've taken it in stride, and we've certainly made strides as a team.
Nick Bowman joins us out here, one of the assistant coaches for UTSA. I know this has been a frustrating season, Nick, for you guys with the losses, the way they've come up with these short games, but I'm impressed by the resiliency of the team to fight back each and every game that we've played. You have a 1-point loss, you play again, a 1-point loss, and you're still back out there playing hard.
Yeah, and I think that really speaks to the character of our players, right? And they show up every day, and they give us everything that they possibly can. And we've had really, really good practices, and I know Coach has talked a lot about having really, really good practices, and then we've just come up a little short. But, yeah, it's been frustrating, but one of our goals –
Move that up just a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
One of our goals is still right in front of us, which is to win the conference tournament. And until that's not a possibility, we're going to keep working to try to achieve that goal.
Nick, Rice is a team that you've scouted before and will scout for this weekend. Talk about the Owls, and they're a little bit different. They've kind of been in the same boat that we've had with some narrow losses.
Yeah, and they started off 2-0, and then we went up there and got a great road win against them. And you were talking about size. They're one of the bigger teams in the league, and they really guard and protect the rim. If you remember, they got off to a fast start against us. Their bigs got into some foul trouble, and then we made a bunch of threes right in the first half, and we were able to extend our lead. But I think like what Coach was saying earlier, too, we did a great job on C.J. Walker the other night. We took him completely out of the game. They didn't play him the second half, right, and he's their leading scorer, and obviously Felton got hot. But we're going to need that same focus around the basket defensively against Rice on Sunday.
Austin, when that's another thing I thought of a minute ago. When they took C.J. Walker out, it kind of became small ball to a certain extent. I think our biggest guy on the floor at one point was Joe, and they had a bunch of guards out there. Do you like seeing those kind of matchups with what we have?
Yeah, I certainly think we're a team that can do it. It's not necessarily our favorite thing to do. But to be honest, I'm not sure it's East Carolina's favorite thing to do either. I think they did a great job sort of making that call to go that way. And they had some guys step up playing in some different roles. And, we actually went small too a little bit in that game. But, yeah, no, listen, I think if you've got a lineup, that's able to do it, it's certainly hard to guard. And then you're able to create pressure on the other side as well.
Austin, on Sunday, we're going to say goodbye for Senior Day because of the early start of the Memphis game next week. What are your thoughts on these seniors with Damari and Ray and Primo that have been a part of this team this year? Only 1 year, unfortunately, for them, but they've certainly made their mark here for the Roadrunners.
Yeah, I mean, for a first-year head coach, it means a lot that they took a chance on myself and on UTSA. And they've worked their butts off. And I know if you just look at the raw record and say, like you mentioned, the losing streak, man, these guys have continued to show up every single day. And they're going to be proud, when they look back in a couple of years and see what UTSA basketball has become, those three guys are going to be such a big part of that. And they recognize that. And I think that speaks to, like Coach Bowman said, the character and maturity that these guys have. And so hopefully, we can set them out the right way, not just Sunday, but Tuesday and as we, try to finish out the season.
Nick, your thoughts on those three players?
Yeah, I think it's funny because senior's sort of a loaded word now, right? Eligibility's changing all the time. But they've had great careers, and I think that they deserve to be proud of what they've accomplished in college basketball. And we were able to be a small part of that, and I feel thankful to them that they did, like Coach said, take a chance on him, on us, as we get this thing started. And when we think about when we build it back at Nichols, that first year we had a lot of one-year seniors that probably didn't have the season that they wanted, but were every bit as important as some of the players that came after them that got to have the wins, right, and some of the success.
Austin,
go ahead.
Go and finish.
No, so I'm really, really thankful for them, and I'm looking forward to working with them the next couple of days to help them get a win on Senior Day.
Awesome. Austin, thanks so much for joining us tonight. We'll let you get back to work, and see you Sunday for the Rice game.
I appreciate it, guys. Birds up. See you soon.
All right. One more segment to go, and we'll visit with UTSA men's basketball trainer Gianna Hook coming up in the next segment. more than a point for every free throw UTSA men's and women's basketball teams score at home. Haven for Hope Shelter for the Homeless will receive a donation thanks to North Park Subaru. It's North Park Subaru's charity stripe benefiting Haven for Hope. Joining us on the show right now is UTSA basketball trainer Gianna Hook. Welcome. How are you?
Hi, Andy. I'm hanging in. How are you?
Very nice. I think you are certainly the team mom. And
Step one.
You take care of the athletes on this team and make sure that they're good to go on game day. So take us through what it's like to be an athletic trainer. I know it's a lifelong goal of yours, and you're getting a chance to do it at UTSA.
No, absolutely. I would say you hit it right on the head. I am like a team mom to these boys. I am a mom myself,
Yes,
and then
you are.
I pass on the buck to these boys. I really preach to them that I am a big sister to them, though, too, and I care for them on a big sister level, right? And so I give my care in that exact same way. My day-to-day really just, it goes back to making sure that these boys are doing exactly what they want to be doing on the court. I'm their biggest advocate and their biggest fan. I want them to be healthy. I want them to be well, mind, body, and soul. And so I really, truly embody that as much as I can on a day-to-day basis with them. When they wake up, check on them, whatever it might be. You name it.
We hear the word treatment a lot, and what does that entail for a player? Because they're gonna, even if they don't get injured, they're gonna get kind of beat up as the season goes along.
Oh, for sure.
How do you keep them healthy, and what is treatment along the way?
Absolutely. So, I mean, to be honest, I think there's a lot of people don't give enough credit to what a good sleep schedule, a good nutrition schedule, and a good hydration schedule can do for somebody for longevity in the season. And so I'm really, really a big advocate for making sure that they're doing that first. And so if, let's say, hypothetically, they're like, oh, hey, I need to come in for some treatment on the day after a game day, cool. If we're just coming back that night or coming back that morning, honestly, their best treatment is going to be some sleep.
Right.
And so I'd rather not see them because they're not going to want to be there in the first place. It's going to be like pulling seats to get them in there, right? So let's keep them at home.
The alarm clock's going to ring, and they're going to hit the snooze button a lot.
Come on. So, let's make it easier for both of us, right?
Yeah.
So I really make sure that, work smarter, not harder with a lot of things. So first and foremost, taking that, right? And then off of that, it's about movement is medicine is a big thing for me. So really preaching on, let's do a couple exercises just to get some things activated, and then we can do whatever quote unquote feel good things you'd like to do, and just kind of cater it to each athlete for sure.
I think a lot of kids, 17, 18, even 22, 23, when they come in to a new setting, they're away from home for the first time. They don't know what to eat. They may not even know that they like something that's healthier for them than the junk that they've been eating all their life. So that's an education process.
Oh, absolutely, an education process, and we're so blessed and fortunate at UTSA to have the access to dietitian and nutritionist care and to a fueling station and to being able to promote that education to happen. Because at the end of the day, whether we have them for a year or 4 years, we want them to be leaving from us with the best tools to put them for success as an adult.
And then as after their careers are over, that nutrition and sleep schedule can help them whatever they do afterwards.
You name it, correct. And so it's just about creating a whole regimen and supporting them in that mom role, if you will. I'm hard on them, but it's in the most loving possible manner. Yeah. And they appreciate it.
and you mentioned that you are a mom, and that was about 1.5 years ago. So take us, I'll let you brag about your daughter.
Oh, she's amazing. I'm so lucky to have her as my little sidekick. She's here right now, running around here somewhere.
Is it past her bedtime yet?
It sure is. we're getting a little past it, but it's all good. She's a trooper. But I'm so blessed to be able to show her what her mom can do, and I hope and pray that she sees all that I do and commit to my job, and she can hopefully one day do that for herself, right? And she sees it, whether she knows it or not right now, it's going to be something that's instilled in her for life.
17 months old?
17.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it goes by quick, doesn't it?
My God, it is crazy.
And you get to do this and still travel. You have a good support staff here at home.
Yes, my village is enormous. I have the most amazing like I said, village here that gets to take care of her for me. I have family flying in from over the country to stay with her while I travel.
And you have FaceTime.
And I have FaceTime, and I have an amazing coaching staff that also allows me to bring her in as I need to. And there are just a bunch of other uncles to her that I don't have here physically with her, family-wise, blood-wise, but, It's all it takes a village. It's a whole family.
All right. Thanks for joining
Yeah.
us. Best of luck. Continued
Thank you.
success. We'll do this again down the road.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, you, Andy.
All right. That's Gianna Hook, UTSA basketball trainer, keeping the players healthy and ready to go for game day. All right. Fill up the Convocation Center on Saturday at noon when the Roadrunners take on Florida Atlantic. Neil Raphael has the call on 93.3 The Bull starting at 11:30. The men play on Sunday against Rice. We're on the air at 4:30. The show next week is on Wednesday after the 2 Tuesday games. Thanks to Shane Carter for producing the program this evening. Thanks for you to be a part of it. And basketball on Saturday and Sunday for the women and the men. Have a great evening, everyone. It's the UTSA Basketball Radio Show on the UTSA Sports Network.